will see. Here's so all of you. Like, I don't care. Everyone can have their moment and see.
Just days after Charlie Kirk was brutally assassinated, his wife Erika is out here smiling, laughing, even flaunting his Medal of Freedom to staff like it's some kind of trophy. Meanwhile, Charlie's own parents? Complete silence. No interviews, no public statements, nothing at all. Something about this entire situation doesn't add up. And believe me, you're not the only one who thinks so. Let me break down what's really happening behind the scenes. Charlie Kirk was assassinated on September 10th, 2025. His body was flown on Air Force 2. 8 million followers mourning nationwide. National news blitz. The vice president in attendance. But where are his parents? Robert and Catherine Kirk, the people who raised Charlie in suburban Chicago, who gave him his values, discipline, and unshakable foundation. His dad even helped build the iconic Trump Tower back in 1979. These aren't just average folks. They are powerful, respected, and vocal. Yet right now, dead silence. Meanwhile, Erika Kirk is everywhere. Named CEO of Turning Point USA, a $100 million powerhouse organization. She's delivering speeches, hosting Charlie's podcast, running stadium events. And people are starting to notice. Something feels off. Today, I'm going to show you the viral clips millions have already seen. The receipts that prove Charlie's parents have a very real, chilling reason for staying quiet. And by the time this video ends, you'll see exactly why they don't trust Erika and why this story is far from what it seems. Let's get into the facts. On September 10th, 2025, Charlie Kirk was delivering a speech at a Turning Point USA event. Just 31 years old. The alleged shooter? A man named Tyler Robinson. That's the official story, but is it the full truth? Charlie had been married to Erika France since 2021, a former beauty queen turned faith-based partner. They had 2 young children, a daughter born in 2022 and a son in 2024. Kids who just lost their father. Now, here's the part almost no one is talking about. Charlie's parents, Robert Kirk, an accomplished architect who worked on Trump Tower back in 1979. These are the facts the mainstream is ignoring. Yeah, you heard that right. The Trump connection runs deep, decades before Charlie was even born. Robert Kirk didn't just work on Trump Tower. He built his own respected design firm. This man is a heavyweight in architecture, successful, confident, someone who knows exactly how to handle himself under the spotlight. Then there's Catherine Kirk, Charlie's mom. She started her career trading on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, one of the biggest, most intense financial markets in the country. High stakes, rapid-fire decisions, massive pressure. Later, she switched gears and became a mental health counselor, blending business smarts with real people skills. These aren't timid people. They don't hide when things get tough. So, why are they completely invisible right now? That's what makes this whole situation downright bizarre. Usually, when tragedy strikes, especially a murder, the parents become the loudest voices. They storm the media, demand justice, launch lawsuits, speak at every memorial. But Robert and Catherine Kirk? Total silence. Let me show you just how weird this is. A TikTok clip about this went viral overnight. And trust me, it's no accident.
Why doesn't anybody know anything about Charlie Kirk's parents? I just saw a video about this, and it had literally never occurred to me that no one is talking about. We have not heard from or seen footage of anybody other than Erika and the freaking vice president and Usha anywhere involved in the situation. And every news outlet has the same like little snippets, and it's that his mother was a mental health care provider and his father was an architect, and his father was involved in the building of and the design of Trump Tower in New York. I literally like can't even find their names anywhere. They are not really listed. They're like, he has a younger sibling too, and they are just completely out of the picture, which is insane. In a high profile moment like this, it is insane that the only person that we are hearing from or seeing involved in anything is his wife. And that gives you such a huge window into what that family dynamic is like. Like, obviously, I always sort of assumed he had no relationship with his mom because the hatred of women, you know, like it has to come from somewhere, and generally it would come from that space. And maybe that's the case, that none of them talk to him, but it's really strange that someone with 8 million followers that had his body transported on Air Force 2 just like doesn't have a thing.
Listen closely to what this woman is saying. Why does nobody know anything about Charlie Kirk's parents? And honestly, she's not wrong. Think about it. Charlie Kirk had 8 million followers. His assassination was headline news nationwide. Yet, we know almost nothing about the two people who raised him. She goes on, "We haven't heard from or seen footage of anyone besides Erika and the freaking vice president." Exactly. Only Erika. Only politicians. Not his parents. Here's the kicker. She points out every news article repeats the exact same script. The same tiny snippets. His mom was a mental health provider. His dad an architect who helped build Trump Tower in New York. That's it. That's all we get. The same 3 facts, copy-pasted everywhere like a script. Then she says something that gave me chills. I couldn't find their names anywhere either. It's like they've been erased. Completely wiped from the picture. She's absolutely right. And then she lays it out how insane this is. Just insane. In a case this high profile, it's mind-blowing that the only voice we hear, the only person we see involved, is his wife. Now, here's where it gets truly fascinating. She says, that gives you a massive window into what that family dynamic really looks like. Think about that for a second. When parents stay completely silent after their child is murdered, that's not normal grief. That's a choice. A statement. And then the final blow. It's downright strange that someone with 8 million followers, whose body was transported on Air Force 2, just doesn't have a family. Let that sink in. The government flies his body home. The president awards him a Medal of Freedom. But his own parents won't say a word publicly. Something is seriously off here. Now, you're probably asking, why does the Trump connection even matter? Well, watch this next clip. It explains everything.
Know who this is? Any guesses? This is the man who was the architect and the project manager behind the construction of Trump Tower in New York City in 1979. His name is Robert Willard Kirk, a very successful architect in his day. And he also just happens to be Charlie Kirk's father. Yes, so not only did Charlie Kirk's father help design and build a true eyesore in New York City, but he also helped create Charlie Kirk, who has not only just been an eyesore, but just agonizing to exist with as well. It's really just like must have been some kind of an omen, because some of the earliest protests and movements against Donald Trump began in the late 70s, early 80s, as New Yorkers were not happy about Trump Tower becoming part of their block. Like the fact that Charlie Kirk's father was being protested along with Trump for building Trump Tower, and now in present day, Charlie Kirk is also being protested, still with Donald Trump. Like, of course, Charlie Kirk has always adored Trump. He helped make their family even wealthier than they already were before Charlie even came into the world. Just a little interesting tidbit of information that I thought you should know, but I'm sure some of you already felt that anyway, because at this point I feel we are able to sniff out Nepo babies with ease.
Here's what most people don't realize. Robert Kirk wasn't just some guy who casually supported Trump. He literally helped build Trump's empire from the ground up. That's right. Trump Tower was completed in 1984, and Robert Kirk was the project's lead architect. The video highlights how Charlie Kirk idolized Trump, but the truth is, the Kirk family's ties to Trump run much deeper, decades before Charlie was even born. Their family wealth grew alongside Trump's rise, long before Charlie stepped into the spotlight. For over 40 years, the Kirks have been insiders, not outsiders. They know the game. They understand power, politics, and how the shadows move behind the scenes. And yet, they're choosing silence. This isn't ignorance. This is a deliberate, calculated decision. Now, watch closely. I'm about to show you the moment that made millions stop and question everything. This is the clip that ignited every conspiracy theory you've heard so far.
our Turning Point USA family, but I want you guys all to see the Medal of Freedom and be able to look at it in the back of it. This is all, you guys are all part of the legacy. So I want you guys to all see it. It's really pretty, and then on the back, it's the first and last time I'll put a cross on it. But yeah, you guys can. I literally will stand here so all. Like I'm not, I don't care. Everyone can have their own and see. Yeah, watch that. Thank you.
This is Erika Kirk, just days after her husband was assassinated, proudly showing off his Medal of Freedom to the Turning Point USA staff. Listen closely as she says, "I want you all to see the Medal of Freedom and know you're part of the legacy." Now, watch her energy. Watch her face. I'm not telling you what to think, just watch. She looks upbeat, happy, smiling, laughing, joyful. Just days after her husband was brutally taken from her. I get it, grief hits people in different ways. Some smile to cope. Others throw themselves into work. But here's what's raising eyebrows. This isn't just coping. This feels like a performance, like carefully staged PR. And here's the thing, human reactions tell real stories. This one, it doesn't fit the script. You want proof? Compare that to Charlie's parents at the Medal of Freedom ceremony. Catherine Kirk was described as visibly shaken, barely holding herself together. Robert stood silent, grief carved deep into his face. That's what real pain looks like. But it gets worse. Let me show you another viral clip that exposes everything Erika has been up to since Charlie's death.
Let me get this straight. We're supposed to believe the official narrative of what happened to Charlie Kirk. Mikey McCoy, Charlie's chief of staff, was on the phone before Charlie's body ever hit the ground. He was still on the phone as he was walking away. What could he have possibly been talking about? Because he has no idea what was happening behind him. Charlie's closest allies and friends were filming themselves while he was being carried out to the car. No instinct to run and help him or run away. Sorry, but this isn't normal no matter which way you put this. Candace is the only one digging into what actually happened, which is why they're attacking her so hard for it. Not to mention, she released even more messages of Charlie saying, "I'm not sure if I'll live to see the end of this revolution," and tells Candace, "I believe you're the piece that God meant for me to meet. Cannot explain it, but I dream of it all the time." And then says, "If that's the case, be my David." I wonder if these same people who mocked Candace Owens for talking about a dream will mock Charlie for it as well. Clearly the people who are coming after Candace lack any sort of discernment. Instead they play into the forgiveness done in public, like Charlie Kirk's wife did, and letting off fireworks for his rally, funeral. Candace is the only one digging into the truth of what happened. She's exposing all of the corruption and they hate her for it.
Now, this is where the truth really hits home. This whole thing, it's pure PR. They're taking your grief and turning it into a marketing machine. Let me break down what Erika has done in the weeks since Charlie died. Isn't it strange how a widow suddenly steps into the CEO role? She's already given 3 speeches, one at a stadium. And where were Charlie's parents? Nowhere to be found. Not invited? Or maybe they just refused. Either way, that silence speaks volumes. And get this, she's selling t-shirts. She's hosting her late husband's podcast, performing at halftime shows with big acts, building her personal brand at lightning speed. Here's the line that broke people's hearts. She's not even home with her 2 young kids, the ones who just lost their dad. 3 years old and 1 year old. Their father is gone and their mother is on stage, doing halftime shows. This clip dives even deeper. This is how they package tragedy to make you feel good, so you don't ask the hard questions. They use Christianity as a shield, making corruption look holy. Forgiveness becomes a weapon, silencing those who dare to question. And honestly, that's exactly what it feels like. Every time someone pushes for answers, they're told to pray, forgive, and move on. But real justice? Real truth? It never comes. Now, to be clear, I'm not saying I believe every conspiracy theory out there, but these questions? Some of them are absolutely worth asking.
Kirk was betrayed. Erika Kirk is not continuing Charlie's legacy, and I'm going to prove it to you. Charlie in his final days was advocating for the release of the Epstein files and showed Epstein's ties to a specific nation. I don't see Erika Kirk or anybody on Charlie's show bringing that up. Next, Charlie was doing a Doge audit, the money coming to and from Turning Point. Is Erika Kirk doing that? I don't think so. Her parents work for a Department of Defense, and remember all that stuff about Romania that got wiped away? A translator named Anna Maria was in an American base in Romania that belonged to NATO and exposed that there was real young girls who was sent there for the soldiers to do horrific things to them. And a man named Otto Buscher, who was a commander, the Black Sea Area Support Team Base, was found with crimes against children. Erika Kirk was in a commercial for Romanian's Angels in 2013, and in the end of the video, she thanks Cornel Buscher, the same man Erika Kirk was working with to help orphan children. There's an entire report on this, and the reason why you're not seeing it on the internet, there's something called the U.S.-Romania Defense Cooperation Agreement, signed in 2005, where crimes committed against U.S. military personnel on Romanian bases fall under U.S. jurisdiction. Everything is being swept under the rug. The truth is being hidden from us. Charlie was getting too close to the truth, and those who seek the truth will always end up silent.
Now, this is where the truth really hits home. This whole thing, it's pure PR. They're taking your grief and turning it into a marketing machine. Let me break down what Erika has done in the weeks since Charlie died. Isn't it strange how a widow suddenly steps into the CEO role? She's already given 3 speeches, one at a stadium. And where were Charlie's parents? Nowhere to be found. Not invited? Or maybe they just refused. Either way, that silence speaks volumes. And get this, she's selling t-shirts. She's hosting her late husband's podcast, performing at halftime shows with big acts, building her personal brand at lightning speed. Here's the line that broke people's hearts. She's not even home with her 2 young kids, the ones who just lost their dad. 3 years old and 1 year old. Their father is gone and their mother is on stage, doing halftime shows. This clip dives even deeper. This is how they package tragedy to make you feel good, so you don't ask the hard questions. They use Christianity as a shield, making corruption look holy. Forgiveness becomes a weapon, silencing those who dare to question. And honestly, that's exactly what it feels like. Every time someone pushes for answers, they're told to pray, forgive, and move on. But real justice? Real truth? It never comes. Now, to be clear, I'm not saying I believe every conspiracy theory out there, but these questions? Some of them are absolutely worth asking.
Kirk was betrayed. Erika Kirk is not continuing Charlie's legacy, and I'm going to prove it to you. Charlie in his final days was advocating for the release of the Epstein files and showed Epstein's ties to a specific nation. I don't see Erika Kirk or anybody on Charlie's show bringing that up. Next, Charlie was doing a Doge audit, the money coming to and from Turning Point. Is Erika Kirk doing that? I don't think so. Her parents work for a Department of Defense, and remember all that stuff about Romania that got wiped away? A translator named Anna Maria was in an American base in Romania that belonged to NATO and exposed that there was real young girls who was sent there for the soldiers to do horrific things to them. And a man named Otto Buscher, who was a commander, the Black Sea Area Support Team Base, was found with crimes against children. Erika Kirk was in a commercial for Romanian's Angels in 2013, and in the end of the video, she thanks Cornel Buscher, the same man Erika Kirk was working with to help orphan children. There's an entire report on this, and the reason why you're not seeing it on the internet, there's something called the U.S.-Romania Defense Cooperation Agreement, signed in 2005, where crimes committed against U.S. military personnel on Romanian bases fall under U.S. jurisdiction. Everything is being swept under the rug. The truth is being hidden from us. Charlie was getting too close to the truth, and those who seek the truth will always end up silent.
This TikTok drops a heavy theory. Charlie Kirk was betrayed. Erika Kirk? She's not carrying on Charlie's legacy. So, what's the evidence? Let's start with what Charlie was focused on in his final days. He was pushing hard for the release of the Epstein files, exposing Epstein's connections to a specific nation. Yet, since Charlie's death, not a single word about that has come from Erika or anyone on Charlie's show. Total silence. And there's more. Charlie was doing a full audit, digging into the money flowing in and out of Turning Point USA. Is Erika continuing that? No sign of it. The audit just vanished the moment she took over as CEO. Now, it gets darker. This video digs into Erika's background in Romania, where her parents supposedly worked for the Department of Defense. It talks about erased information, military bases, crimes against children, and people connected to her family. I won't repeat everything, because I can't verify it. But what's clear is that questions about Erika's past have suddenly become impossible to research online. The video ends with this chilling warning. Everything is being swept under the rug. The truth is being hidden from us. Charlie was getting too close to the truth. And those who seek the truth always end up silenced. I can't confirm all of that, but here's what I can confirm. Charlie's parents have stayed completely silent throughout this entire ordeal. And that silence? It's deafening. Let's look at the memorials and events since Charlie died. The pattern of their absence is striking. There was a huge memorial service. You'd expect parents to speak, to share memories, to honor their son, maybe even demand justice.
But no.
Erika spoke, politicians spoke, friends spoke, but Robert and Catherine Kirk? Not a single word. Then came the Medal of Freedom ceremony at the White House. President Trump posthumously honored Charlie, and Erika accepted the medal. Meanwhile, Charlie's parents stood silently in the background, visibly moved but not participating. They were there, yes, but only as witnesses, not as active participants in their own son's legacy. Think about how unusual that is. If you truly supported your daughter-in-law, wouldn't you stand with her? Share the spotlight? Be part of honoring your son? Their body language said it all. They were there out of obligation, not support. So, what does it all mean? Let's read between the lines. Charlie's parents are no fools. Robert Kirk is a successful architect who worked on one of New York's most iconic buildings. Catherine Kirk conquered the high-pressure world of Chicago's financial markets before becoming a counselor. These are accomplished, intelligent people. If they wanted to speak out, they could. If they wanted to defend Erika, they could. If they wanted justice for their son, they absolutely could. But they're not.
Why?
Here are the possibilities. First, maybe they're just private people who don't want attention. But that doesn't hold up. Most parents in this situation become public advocates, no matter what. The pain is too raw, the need for justice too urgent. Second, maybe they're grieving privately and not ready for public appearances. Maybe. But weeks have passed, and still not a single written statement from them. That goes beyond private grief. It's active avoidance. Third, and this is the one that fits, maybe they don't trust Erika. They don't believe the official story. Think about it. If you believed your son was killed by a random, crazy person, and your daughter-in-law was carrying on his mission, why wouldn't you support her? Stand beside her at events? Help run the organization your son built? The only reason to distance yourself completely is if you don't trust her, if you think something else is going on. Now, let's look at the evidence that Charlie's parents don't trust Erika. Because when you put it all together, it's hard to ignore. Evidence 1. Complete absence from every single event Erika hosts. They don't support her publicly, don't stand with her during speeches, don't attend stadium rallies. Their message is clear. They're not part of her world. Evidence 2. No involvement in Turning Point USA. This was Charlie's legacy, founded from their own home back in 2012 when he was just 18. Charlie's dad even suggested the name, Turning Point USA. It started as a family project.
But now?
Erika is CEO, and Charlie's parents have zero involvement. That's a choice. They're saying loud and clear, we don't support this. Evidence number 3. The body language at the Medal of Freedom ceremony. Watch the footage closely. Erika's front and center, smiling, accepting applause, soaking it all in. Meanwhile, Robert and Catherine Kirk are stuck in the back, stone-faced, barely holding themselves together. That's not just grief. That's anger, resentment, a silent message that says, we're here because we have to be, but we don't support this. Evidence number 4. The silence. The internet is flooded with conspiracy theories about Erika, her past, her motives, whether she's really continuing Charlie's work. If Robert and Catherine trusted Erika, they could crush those rumors with one statement. We support Erika. She's carrying on Charlie's legacy. Stop spreading lies about our daughter-in-law. But they haven't said a word. Not once. That silence speaks volumes. Evidence number 5. The stark contrast in behavior. Look at Erika, performing, brand building, hosting podcasts, selling merchandise. She's using Charlie's death as a platform. Now look at Robert and Catherine. They're silent private, staying as far away from this circus as possible. That difference tells you everything you need to know about what they really think of Erika's behavior. Here's the bottom line. Robert and Catherine Kirk raised their son with values, truth, discipline, courage. They gave him the foundation that made him who he was. Robert taught him how to build things that last. Catherine taught him resilience and integrity. And now their son is gone, murdered at just 31. His body flown on Air Force Two. The president awarded him a medal. 8 million people followed him. But his parents? Not a single public word. It's not because they're too shy. Not because grief has broken them beyond repair. These are people who thrived in high-pressure worlds, Chicago's financial markets, designing one of New York's most iconic buildings. No, they're silent because they don't trust what's happening. They don't believe the official story. They don't support how Erika is using their son's death. And maybe, just maybe, their silence is the most courageous thing they can do right now. Maybe refusing to endorse a narrative they don't believe, refusing to stand beside someone they don't trust, is their way of protecting themselves and honoring their son's real legacy. Because here's what's clear. Something is very wrong with this picture. When accomplished, intelligent parents of a murdered activist disappear from the public eye while the widow takes over a $100 million organization and smiles for cameras. That's not normal. That's a statement. So, I want to ask you, do you think Charlie Kirk's parents trust Erika? Why do you think they've stayed completely silent? Comment below and tell me what you really think is going on.